You have goals, you want to achieve big things, and you already know that means you have to be disciplined and consistent. But when you work 40, 50, 60 hours a week like me, you have maybe 1 to 3 hours a day, if you're lucky, to actually achieve those big things. And most days you're too exhausted to do anything, which makes staying disciplined and being consistent and making progress on your goals feel almost impossible. There's so much advice out there about discipline and productivity. Some of it's good, some of it's trash, but all of it assumes you have enough time, enough energy, and enough control over your schedule. You don't, and I definitely don't either. So that's why I'm starting this channel, to cut through all of the vague, just wake up at 5 a.m., quit your job, want it more, work harder type self-help advice, and give you realistic, practical ways to actually achieve the things that matter to you while working full-time. So today we're breaking down the psychology of why discipline really feels impossible, because if you don't understand it, you can't fix it. We're going to go through the actual system for building it while working full-time that's even going to work on the days where you have very little time and very little energy. So let's get into it. My name's Amy, I'm an artist in the video game industry, and I need to spend 8 to 10 hours a day working. A few years ago, I realized that I really needed to put in a lot of time and effort into other areas of my life to build the kind of life that I wanted. And improving these areas meant having very clear goals, staying focused, being consistent. It meant I had to become disciplined and very intentional about where I was putting my time and energy outside of work. I had so many goals for so many years, but for most of my 20s, I would wake up, go to work, get home, want to do something that I knew would benefit one of these other areas, but something either always got in the way or I was just too exhausted from just getting through the day. Sometimes I'd make a bit of progress just by forcing myself to do things, but I could never stay consistent just running on willpower, and eventually this led to many cycles of burnout and misery, and months at a time would fly by, and the goals I had set in like January showed no progress by June. So I did what anyone would do, and I looked for advice online. None of it really addressed the fact that so many people need to work full time, that it's a non-negotiable for us. It took a lot of time and a lot of failure to understand that all of this advice was either A, complete or B, it was pretty helpful but made for people with a lot of free time, which was not me. So no matter how much I tried, I couldn't figure out how to apply 99% into my life. The most common problem I found is that we are told what to do to build discipline and to improve our lives. We're shown the possibilities of what our lives could be. What we're never shown is how to get there while maintaining everything in our lives that need maintaining. Our jobs, our responsibilities, and everything else that takes time and energy doesn't just disappear the day that we decide to improve ourselves. We still have to juggle everything and somehow still build discipline, consistency, and focus on top of all of it. Once I understood the psychology behind all of this is when things really started to change. And these are all the things that changed the most for me. There's a very specific cycle of behavior that so many people get stuck in. I was too for years, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because you've lived it. It starts with some kind of motivational spark. Maybe it's a book, a video, a doctor's appointment, or one of those moments where you just feel deeply unsatisfied with yourself and think, okay, I really need to make some changes. So you find a list of things that other people tell you to do that you think will improve your life. So you do things like set a new alarm, download a new habit tracker, buy a new journal, and for a few days, maybe a few weeks, you feel amazing because you're doing everything on your list, you're showing up for yourself, maybe you're even seeing some great results. Then something happens, just something normal, like a work deadline moves, or you sleep badly, or a friend needs help one night, and suddenly any energy you had just isn't there anymore, so you take a day off from your new disciplined life. Maybe it's just one off day and you're back to it the next. Maybe it's 2 days off and you get back to it, but eventually you'll take a week off, a month off, and at some point, your plan gets forgotten, you lose all motivation, and you tell yourself, I'll restart when things calm down. But things don't calm down because that's just how life is. Eventually, another motivational spark happens, and the whole thing starts all over again. It's an exhausting, demoralizing cycle, but there's another part of it that isn't really talked about, and it's the worst part. It's the self-blame. When we don't achieve what we wanted or when we don't stay disciplined, we blame ourselves. We have thoughts like, why can't I just stick to anything? I'll never be able to do this. What's wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. The reason this happens is because we are personalizing the failure of a plan that was never going to work in the first place. And it's not your fault. We've been trained to do this. In order to make real lasting improvements to your life, you need to understand that everything you do and everything you think about piles up into a cognitive load that just gets bigger and bigger until it eventually overflows your working memory, which is just your brain's mental space, kind of like your brain's Google Drive. When that happens, your brain will default to whatever is automatic behavior for you. So your current habits, whether they're good or bad. Your current habits don't need much working memory. They don't need much Google Drive space for you to do them, but any new intentional behavior, like something you're doing to chase your goals, needs a lot of working memory to get done. So I don't care what you hear out there, it has nothing to do with laziness or a lack of ambition. That is biology. That is literally how human brains work. So that's what we have to work with. There's no fighting it. There's no pushing through it. There's no just working harder. And if you take nothing else from this video, just remember that anytime you enter this self-blame stage, you're unintentionally teaching your brain that you can't keep promises to yourself. And if you do that enough, you'll stop feeling any desire to improve your life in the first place. And we don't want that. So the next time you catch yourself in this stage and you have those negative thoughts going through your head, I need you to say to yourself, my capacity is full right now, and that's all this is. Say it and move on. You don't owe yourself a lecture every time the day gets away from you. Okay, so motivation feels awesome, but it doesn't last very long. Willpower can be useful if we have enough energy to use it, but we don't. We're juggling all of this, but we're ambitious to want more, so how do we actually accomplish more? We need to use structure. Structure doesn't care how tired you are. It doesn't need you to be motivated or locked in or feel ready. It doesn't run out, and the more you use it, the more automatic it becomes. So let's run through exactly how to build that into your life. I made a free workbook for what we'll be going through next. The link's in the description, no email required. You can just download it. But if you are interested in this kind of content and you want to stay up to date, there is a newsletter sign up in there too, but it's completely up to you. Part 1, pick 3 goals. So first, let's figure out what you actually want to be putting your very limited amount of time and energy into. Most discipline advice will tell you to pick one thing and just focus on that. I'm way too ambitious for that, and if you're watching this, you likely are too. Picking one goal doesn't mean your other goals go away, so we're gonna pick 3. Goal A, goal B, and goal C. If that feels like too much, you can just do goal A or B, or just do goal A. It's up to you. The system works for whatever you choose. So goal A is going to be the thing that you know if you made real consistent progress on it would meaningfully change what your life looks like. And you probably already know what it is. It's usually the thing that matters a lot to you, that you've been telling yourself you need to start, or that you have started but you're just not consistent with. If you don't know where to start, choosing one of these life areas, finances, health, relationships, and your mind is a good way to start. Here are some examples. My goal A right now is I'm trying to build this YouTube channel. I've been wanting to do it forever, and I know if I'm consistent with it, it has the potential to change my life. So once you've chosen your goal A, you're going to write down the next 3 things you need to do for that goal A. So for me, I need to finish my next video script. I need to edit this video that I'm currently filming, and I need to do the publishing stuff like the thumbnail and the description and all that sort of thing. So those are my next 3 things. Okay, so we have goal A. Goal B is something that would improve your life if you were consistent with it. It's not a big life changer like goal A, but it's something that matters a lot to you. My goal B is I really need to do more yoga. Feeling good and moving my body like that is something that is very important to me, especially as I get older. So that's going to be my goal B. Goal C is your smallest commitment. It's something meaningful enough to be worth doing, but it's small enough that even on a really bad day, it's not going to take much time or energy from you. We're talking like 10 minutes on a good day or 5 minutes on a bad day. And it also has to be something that it's okay if you skip it. My goal C is I really love annotating nonfiction books. I always have one that I'm doing, but I rarely sit down actually with a pen and engage with it properly. So it's going to be my goal C, because if I skip it for a few days in a row, that's totally fine. So now that we have goal A, B, and C chosen, we can move on to the next step, which ties all of this together, and that is setting your 3 windows. The way most people plan to take action on something is one action at one time. So I'll work on my side business after my job. I'll go to the gym tomorrow morning. And if it doesn't happen, the default usually is I'll skip it today, but I'll definitely do it tomorrow. What's crazy is we build backups for things that go wrong everywhere else in life. Like your car has a spare tire, your laptop will autosave. your phone has low power mode. But when it comes to our goals and our discipline and our self-improvement, we give ourselves one chance to get all these things done, and we wonder why we can't make real progress on anything. So your goal A, your most important goal, gets 3 backups. It's 3 windows of opportunity to get done. And those windows of opportunity are 3 different combinations of time and effort. So no matter what kind of day you're having, you can still stay consistent. You're not doing the action 3 times, you're just giving yourself 3 chances to do it. And the windows of opportunity are your easy window, busy window, and nightmare window. Your easy window is for when you're having a good day. So it's for when your energy is high and you can give a good amount of time and effort towards your goal A. And be honest and realistic with yourself about this one. If all you have is 45 minutes to commit on a good day, that's plenty. And it doesn't have to be in the morning. I'm mentally switched on as soon as I wake up. So that's when deep focused work happens for me. But physically my energy peaks around 7 p.m. So that's when I'll schedule in any sort of exercise. For my goal A, which is this channel, my easy window is going to be 7 to 8:30 a.m. That gives me a solid 90 minutes of deep focused work that I can get done before I start my job at 9 a.m. Your busy window is your realistic backup. It's lower effort and less time than your easy window, but it's still very effective. And it's for the days when you're tired, but still functional. So for me, it's going to be 30 minutes on my lunch break. So that gives me enough time to eat and take a break from work and still make some decent progress. Nightmare window. Your nightmare window is the window that's going to get you through even your worst days. So it's the least amount of time and the lowest amount of effort that you can commit in order to just maintain consistency on your goal A. It should feel almost embarrassingly easy to get done because we all know on a bad day, even something easy is going to feel difficult. So for my goal A, given the list of things that I know I need to get done, my nightmare window for goal A is going to be I'm going to open my script, read through what I have so far and close it, and I'm going to do that for 10 minutes before bed. So when you plan your day this way, it'll look something like this. And you'll notice that I haven't talked about goal B and C yet. That's because the rule that makes this work is your goal A always comes first. So say you can't do your easy window that day, your busy window is now your goal A's backup. Goal B only gets attention when goal A has been done that day. Goal C only gets attention if goal B has been done that day. They're backups. Psychologist Peter Gollwitzer, his research shows that deciding in advance exactly when and what you'll do dramatically increases the odds that you'll actually do it. So going back to our working memory being overloaded, being intentional about both when we'll do something and how much of something we'll do means less cognitive load, which means less fatigue, which means you have more working memory, and it's going to be easier for you to get the things done that you need to get done. And that's what makes building discipline in this way sustainable. But I want to be clear about something. This isn't about building a habit, not yet. I have a whole series planned about habit building. Please subscribe. This is about getting used to actually using what little time and energy you have left after work for something that will actually benefit you. So here's what last week looked like for me. Monday was an easy window day. I woke up early, so 7 to 8:30 a.m. I edited my next script, and that meant my backup window was free, so I used it for 30 minutes of yoga, my goal B. That was done on my lunch break right here on my floor. And before bed, I did 10 minutes of reading and annotating, so I hit goal A, B, and C that day. Tuesday was horrible. I got no sleep, so I immediately defaulted to my nightmare window. So 10 minutes before bed, I read through my latest script and did absolutely nothing else. I didn't stretch, I didn't read and annotate, but I got 10 minutes of goal A. Wednesday was the same. I read through my script again around 10 p.m. before I went to bed. I think I wrote a few lines, but that was all I had the capacity for. Again, no yoga happened and no reading happened, and that's totally fine. Thursday was a busy window day. I slept a little bit late, so I missed my 7 to 8:30 a.m. easy window, but I ended up spending about 45 minutes at lunch editing my script, and I spent 10 minutes just doing a quick yoga session that night before bed. And then Friday was thankfully another easy window day. I got 90 minutes of deep focus before my job started. I got my script done. I did yoga at lunch, and I even had the time and energy to film later that night, and I still got 10 minutes of reading done before bed. So I can honestly say that I was consistent every single day this week. And if you're thinking that reading what you already wrote or 5 minutes of stretching isn't real progress, you're right, it's not. On a busy day or on a bad day, your only goal is consistency. That's what builds discipline. Wendy Wood is a behavioral scientist, and her research shows that the part of the brain brain that is responsible for consistent behavior is consistency. So every time you're consistent, even for 5 minutes, you're strengthening the part of your brain that says, I use what time and energy I have to get shit done. I don't make excuses. This is who I am. And it works in reverse too. So every time you're inconsistent, that part of the brain gets weaker. Being truly disciplined means making intentional decisions every day that move you towards your goals. It doesn't matter how big or small or how much effort you put in. It compounds. And the distance between where you are now and where you want to be is nothing but accumulated consistency. Even the smallest action will always beat starting over from scratch or getting stuck in this cycle again. And I'm not going to tell you that using this method makes building discipline and staying consistent easy. It doesn't. Nothing about building a better life is easy. If it were, everyone would be doing it. There will always be days where you fall back into your old habits, into your old automatic behaviors, but the difference now is that you know exactly what to do when those days happen. You're going to snap straight to your nightmare window and just get it done. You're not going to feel proud of it. It's not going to be sexy, and you're probably going to feel like it doesn't count, but you're going to do it anyway. Doing even the bare minimum on a shit day is the best thing you can do for yourself, because those days are the ones that will strengthen your discipline the most. So that's how I built the kind of discipline that changed my life. I built it around the life that I had, not the life that I wished I had. And I'm telling you right now, the life you have now is more than enough to start with. The full-time job, the exhaustion, the unpredictable schedule, all of it. Subscribe if this helped, and if you're ambitious but you can't seem to get anything done, check out this video. See you next time.